Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Starcraft 2 World Championship Series Europe Challenger Edition. I'm Nathanius, joined by Zombie Grub, and don't mind the panic look on our faces. It's because the game's already started. But how are you feeling, Jessica?
We don't panic. We're professionals.
Keep our cool.
Yeah, because we're cool.
Cool as cucumbers. Like when we've got Lings in our mineral line, we just hold it down. It's no big deal.
If Lings are mineral line, I just give up on life. I'm just
well, we are actually in the game, so thankfully you guys get to have a little bit less talk craft. I know that that's your favorite thing in the whole wide world, but we are here. We are loaded in to this Terran versus Zerg. What more could you want to watch on your television on Sunday morning or evening, afternoon if you're European? In the top left position, we got the blue Terran player. He is adorable. He is cute. He is Clem.
In the bottom right, as the red Zerg, teammates, same age, also cute and adorable, it is Reynor.
The next generation of StarCraft pro gamers.
Yeah.
And pool first, by the way, worth noting out of Reynor. Not like Super Mega Double Deluxe Kill You Cheese pool first, but more like a loving six-ling sideswipe to cancel your natural expansion pool first.
Little tappy tap. Yeah, it is six lings too, so. That does put the CC in danger being canceled. We'll see if Clem is defensive with his Reaper as he was against Inertio at least 1 out of 3 games, or actually moves it across the map. I looked up though, I know that Clem recently lost to Reynor as in like just a few days ago in a best of 5 0-3, so not great. But then I dug a little deeper and actually learned that Clem has not actually won against Reynor in a series in 2 years.
Okay,
Last 10 series.
Thanks for taking all the fun out of this match, Tommy Grub. I was really excited for it.
Yeah.
The Reaper, by the way, Overlord sees it, and Reynor's going to be saying to himself, yep, you are not going to see my Zerglings, and there is a Marine that will come out with this, but one Marine does not 6 Zerglings kill.
Yep.
So this is literally the worst possible scenario.
It is.
This could not be worse.
I mean, the Marine actually should just probably just
run inside and protect the reactor.
Okay, he's gonna pull the SCVs. Doesn't want to.
Maybe not literally the worst scenario then.
Doesn't want to risk losing the command center. Actually, this SCV.
Well, gets an SCV, he sneaks one onto it as well.
Yeah, this actually goes on.
Cheeky. Look at that micro! Oh my goodness!
Almost.
Did they turn off the AC in the studio? Because it's getting hot. I'm feeling. Oof.
Actually, finally.
3 SCVs sucks. Okay. The worst case scenario is that he cancels the command center.
Right. Exactly. That is the worst case scenario.
And I thought he would be able to get it, but the micro there with the SCV and the Marine, also sneaking the SCV to start to get back on the construction was big too. Exactly.
Yeah, I was surprised how fast he was able to do that. I thought that Reynor would intentionally try and target it, but it can sometimes be kind of tricky to do so. So Reynor just takes the 3 SCVs. That's still not a bad start, and like there's a less ideal scenario where Clem actually has even better micro and micro some of those back too. That's not bad. 6 Lings, 3 SCVs.
No, not at all. Well, I mean, what's supposed to happen is you send the Marine forward to try and hit an Overlord or something to push it away, and then the Lings kill the Marine, and then you have nothing, and you cancel your natural. You type something mean in the chat, and you're like, whatever, let's go to game 2. But keeping the Marine back behind that command center is always really important, just giving yourself the option to pull those SCVs. Cloak's going to start behind a Viking, and it's going to be Hellion Reaper applying this pressure directly to the forehead. And they'll be heading their way probably towards that 3rd base in a moment.
These poor Europeans have no idea what we're talking about when we do that, by the way.
I don't know. That's okay.
Yeah.
Some sad American is working the graveyard shift at the hospital or something and is like, Nathan, I appreciate you making jokes. I understand.
I love that commercial. It's great. Just a little bit of pressure. Now, if Reynor had made some Lings, this is actually really awkward as they just run on past, but Clem's making them not doing that. So these guys have played a lot recently. Talking about their scores again, no, it's not great for Clem, but they have played like 6 games in the last 2 weeks, something like that.
Is this build like a great debate? After Cloak starts and he gets the Viking, he goes into a medevac and an armory and a tech light on the barracks, which says to me that it's either the latest Cloak Banshee follow-up of all time, or he's going to cancel the Cloak and it's just like a Hellbat medevac push.
He might, yeah, he just actually canceled it like pretty close to finishing.
Yeah.
So that Viking gonna continue looking for Overlords. Not too much there, though. Maybe it'll draw. Actually, it would be kind of nice to draw the Queens up if it tries to get this Overlord. As we have the Hellions being picked up for a Hellion drop.
I love this build.
Nice. Oh, well,
they were talking about this on GSL the other day. Yeah, that Viking needs to get the Overlord. Oh my god, it's gonna
medevac. You know, I don't think it did.
Okay.
That was close, though. Tried to grab it.
Viking, move just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay, well.
Okay, well, whatever. Whatever. Land the Viking. You transform the Hellions because you don't like to try and dive on the drones. They were talking about this on GSL the other day.
They were, right?
Suicide the Hellions in Hellion form. Turning them into Hellbats in this situation, they always just pull the drones away.
Yeah, I was with them on that. I think the Hellions would have a lot better. Banelings are actually more up to help clean up.
You throw away the Viking
Hellbats
as well there, it looks like. Or maybe the medevac saved it at the last second.
No, that's it. Oh, whoa, yeah, it did.
Yeah, well, he doesn't have SCV, so the Viking doesn't do any bonus damage here. And once again, I mean, you get Lings, which is nice, but the economy still intact for Reynor. I mean, you're trying to get the rest of the Queens. It's not like you didn't kill them all, so they're going to come up into the main, and they're just going to push this back, and that's going to be the end of it.
He did. I mean, I was going to say, there's no way there's only 3 Queens main in this game. So what happened on the left side was the Queens died, but they did take out every single
He killed 3 Queens and 33 Zerglings, and a drone.
Yeah. I mean,
but you lost the Viking, so...
That seemed unnecessary. That really did.
Yeah. I like those drops. Those drop plays, like, you hit with Hellbats in the front because you have to micro against it, and then just suicide the Hellions into the main base. Like, if you can get... Like, if the Lings kill your Hellions, it's whatever. You don't really care about them because you're moving into bio. We have the siege tanks with the 1-1, but whatever. That's in hindsight now. The medevac's going to bring everything back home. We've got the tank out, and at least in this scenario, having a medevac with 2 Hellbats does allow, without stim, a good way to push back those Lings. Just boost and drop onto them. Hellbats are still nice to have until the Bane count gets high.
Yeah. Reynor now recovering from that attack, rebuilt a couple of Queens. Yeah, we just built 3.
You know what? That 4th base is definitely not as fast as you would like to have it, given the circumstances of this game. The upgrades are very similar. The economy is still pretty good for Clem. Only needs about 10 more workers this game, and he's got his 3rd planet at a solid enough time that the economy is probably a little bit more even than Reynor would want. So these Lings need to find some purchase, and it looks like they're going to as this attack is moving out. The 2 Hellbats are kind of hold positioning around those SCVs, and he's like, well, you know what, I'm just going to big Banelings in your face.
Okay, he's actually micring around the Hellbats. And Clem has not revealed that he's pushed out yet, I guess, so Reynor can...
Well, I mean, if you're Reynor, you're like, okay, well, if your army's not here,
that's true.
It's got to be somewhere.
It did go to the right side first, decided, oh, no, actually, I don't want to break down the rocks, waste time doing that. To the left side, but there's already Banelings. He does do a very close pickup, but the tanks are lost.
All the Banelings blew up there, but there are more being made. Where are they all being made defensively? Most of them are being made out of the map. Okay, there are 6 or 7 at home.
Yeah, that's certainly enough to take care of things.
Yep.
And these are still not combat shields or upgraded Marines, so even like the Lings have done a decent job.
And they are finishing right this second.
Like, not that much happened over here, although we still have Reynor trying to make something work, but there's a tank. He does deflect the medevacs, though, so just no harassment, really. I love that Clem scans the natural, because I was trying to point out that there is a Spire. So a bit of a... This is not the normal way to play on Acid Plant, especially. Yeah, usually, like, if we do see mutas, it's on 16-bit. It's been, like, the more common one. So it's really good that Clem scans, was like, okay, hold on here. Could you possibly be not going for Hydras?
Well, it gives you a little bit of a way to try and target fire siege tanks that abuse the rocks on this map. There are a lot of positions here that versus Hydraling Bane, the siege tank. A lot of Terran players like this map versus Zerg for that reason alone. But also, late game-wise, the Mutalist can kind of bounce around the west side of the map to hit between where that 3rd base is and the main. Can force out a lot of missile turrets or supply to be left inside of the main to deal with Mutalist harass on the production. And this is the exact position that I'm talking about. If the Mutas can try and like snipe a tank, right now it's going to be really difficult with where the Marines are.
Ooh. Okay. Once again, hot pickup.
That was actually a really good save. Those 8 Marines should have been dead.
Yeah, medevac is quite low, but Mutas do, I guess, reveal themselves. You already knew they were on the way, though, so Mr. here. Just gonna get a reactor. That's not bad, but that number should continue to grow as he is investing into the +1 flyer attack. But they gotta come back and try and snipe one of these tanks. This is getting a little bit complicated as the Mutas do come back. There's only 7 of them, so it'll take them more than 1 pass by to kill a tank. And in fact, he loses one as Clem is controlling his attack quite well.
Yeah, this tech's actually doing really solid on him out. The way that he's been able to pressure this, the siege tank backbone is still there. The creepster from the hatchery is definitely going to make it really hard to get that final push onto it. But look at that, a couple of the banelings detonate on the siege tanks. And there's still plenty of Marines here. If he can kill this hatchery, that would be absolutely huge. As he's trying to target fire the Liberators here to help as well. And once they're breaking through the tanks, the splits off creep are going to be enough. There's still a siege tank alive and 2 Liberators holding down the fort.
Yeah, the retreat of the banelings just lost every single one of them. That was
diving on top of the morphing banelings too. He's going to get the Overlord. Says, you know what, that hatch? I don't care about that hatch. Ain't got drones here. I'm going to kill everything else that's more important.
Yo, Clem, I think, went 0-6 in the last 2 series, man. He's about to win this game. It is definitely ballsy, but Reynor had invested basically everything. He didn't have those, like, 10 backup banelings to scare away an attempt like this from Clem. The splits are good.
Look at these splits.
And that is good enough to win in the first game.
God damn. Wow. Okay, Clem taking that first map. That was really well controlled.
It was.
I didn't like his opening at all, but when he got his Marines out on the map, his splits were great. His medevac pickups were great. He saved so many Marines when he did that tank push. He had way more bio than I thought he would.
Yeah, his reinforcements were really like, oh, okay, hold on here. And because he saved like those slower making units, the tanks and the Liberators, they just, I mean, they took out everything when Reynor was like, oh, okay, I overextended, and he certainly did overextend. So that's already like so much better than what Clem has been doing. At least, I mean, okay, these performances are on, well, this is online too, I guess.
Yeah. This is an elimination match, and Clem really stepping it up. Reynor, is he in Europe right now? Is he playing? He's not playing from Korea, is he? I don't think so.
Well, when is the GSL group?
I don't know.
3-4 days ago? Wait, hold on.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
It wasn't that long ago, so it is possible he's in Korea.
Yeah.
Well, he's certainly not playing up to the standard that we saw him.
It's been a bit of a weak performance from Reynor so far in today's group.
And you can explain the ZVZ because Lambo is just really good at ZVZ, but that was not a strong TvZ, and the muted choice ended up being really it looked terrible. There was the idea, but
you need to have so many banelings to get. You have to get rid of the Marines with the Banes, and Reynor just did a really good job with where he had everything set up for dealing with all the attacks. Or excuse me, Clem had a really good setup.
Yeah, he certainly did. Acid Plant can be tricky like that, but you let the map through in the vetoes, and you got to expect that.
You can run into that again as well. Map number 2 is going to be Dreamcatcher, where the same level of tank play can still be really good. You have a decent bit of airspace. Distance-wise, main to main, like it feels like a lot bigger map. But, yeah, I don't know. That last game in the series against Lambo has me feeling that Clem's got a pretty good shot here. If he plays like he did the last game, I think he should have this in the bag. That was extremely clean from him. Past transforming those Hellbats. Just because the Koreans do it and lose all their Hellbats without killing any drones doesn't mean that you also have to turn your Hellbats and lose them without killing any drones.
I agree. But he has been doing some trickier builds against Nurchio, and it was on this map that he pulled the SCVs as well. See if he do it again to try and just close out with a 2-0. In the top left, up 1, it is the Blue Terran, Clem.
And without ripping into him too much, he did really delay that 4th base a lot with his double-prong Hellbat attack, even if he didn't kill too many workers. His opponent in the bottom right, the Red Zerg player, he is Reynor.
You mean the 4th base of the Zerg?
Yeah, the 4th base of Zerg was a lot later,
Yeah, and Reynor was not, unlike Nurture, he also didn't go for like an excessive amount of extra queens. So like when he killed 3 of them, that actually was a significant time where he wasn't spreading creep.
He only had 3 queens, so I was like, well, I need to inject.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm at poor life now, boys.
Yep.
But there's the Rex, there's the gas, and it's going to be a hatch first out of Reynor. Also worth bringing up again that, Reynor was able to get his Lings around the Reaper, which in my mind I was like, this is the worst case scenario for the Terran, but the Marine and the SCV micro was a really good way for Clem to salvage that situation. So his economy was just a little bit better than it probably should have been. I think even losing a few workers in that situation, delaying the Zerg hatchery is, the Zerg delaying their own hatchery is a really nice win there if your orbital doesn't get delayed. But we have the Reaper starting up. SCV is going to go down to expand, and it's just good old TvZ on this map. You know why I hate this map, Simon Grove? You know my least favorite thing about this map?
What is that?
There's just too much damn space behind the mineral lines. It is so easy to put a spore there if someone was to rush. I can't rush Liberator range on this map.
I'm sorry you can't do that.
No, it's really just, at least this spot attracts a lot of like forges Notice that
Yeah,
a lot of forges really like to be built here, which is great.
It's weird in that the maps usually don't have their dead space behind a mineral line, and they don't have it usually like towards your opponent, basically, right? It'd usually be like over here. So usually behind the mineral line is a safe place to put your engineering bays, your forges, you know, whatever. But it's a very weird main layout.
Oh, I tuck my armories and my fusion core deep into the back of that upper spot in the main on this map.
Some Protosses like to like proxy something back here, by the way. So that's always cool too.
Yep.
It's weird, kind of a weird map.
Makes me think back to the smoky area in the back of your main on Metalopolis days.
Oh yeah.
Maximus Black would put one pylon in there with his scouting probe.
Yep.
He'd let you kill the probe so you thought you were safe, and then 4-gate every day. That was most Protoss players, to be honest, back then.
Yeah, I do remember falling victim to that quite often. So third hatch, it is a 1-1-1. As I was mentioning on this map against Nurchio, maybe he felt the need to be a little bit weirder. Because, like, yeah, that was a hell of an attack last game, but it turned into just like a really solid 3-base attack on Acid Plant. So for this game, we might see a Hellbat attack, sure, but it's not that 2-1-1 Hellion weirdness, especially now with an SCV pool, I would assume. So, I mean, oddly enough, even though he's lost most of his games versus Reynor and his series versus Reynor, there might be some more like, you know, he might be more comfortable actually, because at least he does play against the guy quite often in tournaments.
Yep. And, you know, he's also been a player that's been getting more hype this year along with Reynor. We got to see him play in his first WCS tournament not too long ago. So he's got to be feeling a little bit reinvigorated himself, you know, a little bit of they call it passionitis. You know, the passion just starts to overflow throughout your body, and it makes you a better Starcraft player than you were the day before.
Yeah.
It's the power of passion.
I'm hoping to get, like, catch passionitis.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Hanging around Tasteless is considered the best way to contract that. Lings are going to come up here, poke towards the natural. They see Marines. Nothing super crazy. They're going to try to run by and get inside of the main base. They want to scout. Now, did they get vision on that tech lab of the starport? I don't think they could see the starport from there.
It was pretty far back.
Yeah.
That's actually a little...
No, he has no... I mean, seeing a reactored barracks does say something, because what else would you be doing other than going up to... If you're not 2-1-1ing in this situation,
right,
then it is going to probably be something straight to starport. You're not doing a 3 command center build or whatever, like rush up to that off of just a reactored barracks.
He did see a decent number of Marines though, and nothing else, not even like the gas timing.
He is making a lot of lings. He's getting a baneling nest.
I think he might think it's a 2-1-1. The Banshee was able to avoid the Overlord, which actually can't even like enter in now because the Marines are there. So Reynor is going to be completely surprised. No Spore Crawler, no Lair for an Overseer. Cloak is finishing up in 10 seconds.
Ouch, Chihuahua. Where's the bitch?
It's coming in.
Around that third base? Okay.
Yeah, towards the third. So
just focus to drones. Oh my god, so many banelings being made. It's like, this 2-1-1. I'm so ready for this 2-1-1. I don't even know why people still do this build. It's like, well, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, the banelings look kind of useless, and actually they can be sniped too. Decent attack if the drones are pulled into a safety. But there's whoa!
No Spore in the natural.
Build into the natural. That is a huge mistake, as more drones are going to go down. He's going to desperately try and maybe pull the Banshee back, but that's a wall.
It's like you're going to... raise your depots.
Even if it's not.
Well, yeah,
you just get links.
Marines.
You just get a lot of links.
Then you siege the tanks, and then it's all good.
This is a terrible start for Reynor.
Clem's cheeky build here. Just a smack in the face. Yeah. Just backhand, right across the cheek.
Almost loses the Banshee. Okay, we'll save both. They might be able to come in later and help snipe a couple of those. Well, okay, no, saves one. This one's fine.
He's blocked the queens. We're trapped.
Oh,
we can't get home.
Yeah, I was gonna say, please, something else besides just the queens.
Oh my god, a giant rock.
That would take a long time. He doesn't certainly have that excess of queens because he thought it was 2-1-1.
That's why you build a bunch of queens, so you can break down the rocks.
Yeah, just in case.
This is what peak performance looks like. You may not like it, but
this is really good for Clem, who, I mean, he was totally safe from any Ling shenanigans, and he will continue to be so as he's going to take his third double upgrades. Yeah. He is pretty late to stim and combat shields, though. That is
it sets him up to have like the biggest 1-1 Marine tank push you'll ever see, if that's what he chooses to do. But on this map, you can do a lot with like running around the sides of the medevacs. The tank pushes are devastating, but it's also really easier to use the tanks to defend. You have this tank on the high ground in the natural that can cover. and that'll help cover the whole area in front and also half of the third. Then you bring your other tank over, your SCV wall. It only takes like 3 depots to block most of these areas. Well, 4 here.
Yeah. Give me the other side, I guess.
Yep.
Cancel. That one lives. The Banshee is just chilling right now. It's super injured. It's probably not going to get very much more done unless he brings it home and repairs. But 4th base on the way. Creepsword is still being pushed out. Certainly the excessive queen count will help with that.
Yeah. And Baneling speed is on the way too, so it's not the worst. It's not like the worst possible thing that's ever happened for Reynor, but Clem is ahead on workers, which when you're playing Terran means that you are way ahead on economy because you also have mules. Normally those bad boys are just supposed to make you even, but not in this scenario. I'm asking myself one question, Zombie Grub, that is, where's the armory? 2-2 is going to be really late. It's just now starting the armory. There you go. I know you can read my mind, Clem. But the +1 melee is late for Reynor, so he's not going to get crazy for hidden upgrades.
That was a little awkward. Long time on creep to just like not do very much, but he was macroing, I guess. Also trying to control the Banshee, which died, I assume, to the Spore Crawler. Got 2 more drones though before she died, and going to continue using this to clear creep spread. All
right, so 3 more racks are on the way. Stim is finally finishing. Very, very late Stim, as you were saying, Zombie Grub, and Clem's not going to be able to do anything there. I think this push is going to have to be functioning off the back of the siege tanks. This does scare me a little bit, though. To reach Reynor's base, he has to move pretty far onto... It's dissipating, but he has to move far onto the creep.
Yeah.
And we have a great flank set up, a lot of lings moving around on that north and that east side. But the tanks, once they siege up on this position, this is where it all gets tough. But now he's going to collapse. The tanks have not sieged up. The Banelings have mostly been cleaned up, though. Are there enough Marines to push through? The answer is yes, and 3 of the tanks are still alive.
Wow.
One sieges all of them right there. Okay, well, there's a Hydra that could have... Yep, okay, that Hydra's going to get them. I'm like, why did you unsiege? I'm like, leave the tanks and siege. What are you doing?
That was weird. But that seems to be enough Marines, even though he's once again on creep. There's been a lot of on-creep scenarios for Clem, and he has been able to steamroll past Reynor. A definite shock. I mean, considering Reynor's recent performance, considering their history, to 2-0 Reynor out of the group. He is the surviving 16-year-old.
Yeah.
He's proven his worth.
That Passionitis, man. He's a new level of strength. He came back in season 2, and this is his new arc.
Yeah.
He's killing it right here. Reynor does not have a whole lot going for him. That 3rd base that he has, well, I guess it's 4th technically, is what he would have wanted it to be in the northeast. Not going to be able to mine too much more off of that as the rest of the tanks come. There's so many Marines. I mean, really the only thing going for him, he's going to try to take this gold base. The only thing going for him is that the medevacs are out of energy. He's trying to get a good amount of Banelings, but he has so many Marines that he needs to kill. The next wave is coming up from the northwest. These Marines are going to focus fire down the Banelings, and Clem is going to punch through this army like it is nothing. Look at the supply. He's up 160 to 80. GG. Clem is going to eliminate Reynor from the WCS Europe Challenger.
That is a shock. I mean, if you go into this group and Reynor is maybe even topping it if he's having a good day for ZVZ.
Yep.
Instead, he started things off poorly in ZVZ, but hey, it's Lambo. But then against Clem, really not look like himself.
Yeah, just got completely smacked around by Clem there. And Clem, really good unit control. The tanks were unsieging and sieging a little more than I would have personally wanted at the end of that game. But his Marine focus fire on the Banelings was just like disgusting. So yeah, I don't know. Give Banelings 5 more health, but Clem played fantastic. Also, selling the 2-1-1, by the way.
That was cool.
That was such a cool play to see. He got all those Lings, he got all those Banelings, he got all those Queens. No spores. Banshee kills at least 11 drones.
Yeah, I think it was 11.
And that's that should never happen.
No, that was a complete shock. That was just a lack of scouting. And well, it was a good tell as well from Clem with the Marines on the front lines to kind of sell the story. But that was all that wasn't nearly as tricky as it was versus Nurchio. That was Clem mostly off the back of those good pushes with the tanks and the focus fire. So just impressive TvZ. Hopefully he can carry it through because the rest of the group is still Zerg for him.
Yep, he'll have another Zerg coming up after we get through our winners match. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up for the rest of Group D, we've got Nurchio versus Lambo. And after that, the loser versus Clem. Coming up next, it's Nurchio versus Lambo. You're watching the World Championship Series.